Hello, boys and girls. I'm going to read The Princess and the Pig by Jonathan Emmett and Polly Benetine. The Princess and the Pig. Dedicated for Caroline, who knows the sorts of things that happen all the while in books, by J.E., for my friend Maria Ohms and her love for books. PB. Not that long ago, in a kingdom not far from here, a farmer was traveling home from the market with a cartload of straw. The farmer was so poor that he didn't have a horse and had to pull his own cart. In the back of the cart lay a tiny pink piglet. Nobody wanted to buy the piglet at the market, but the farmer had taken pity on it. I'll call you Pigmella, he decided, as this seemed like a good name for a pig. She's a cute little pig. It was a hot day, and the farmer stopped to rest in the shade of a great castle. Far, far above him, on a high balcony, a queen was inspecting her new baby daughter. The queen was so rich that she had 7 nannies and didn't have to look after her own child. Do you know what a nanny is? The queen picked the baby out of the cradle and held her at arm's length. I'll call it Priscilla, she said, as this seemed like a good name for a princess. So remember, the name of the pig is what? Pigmella, and she is Priscilla. A moment later, a wet, squelching noise came from the baby's diaper, closely followed by an awful smell. Yuck! Shrieked the queen, dropping the baby and running off to find the royal nannies. She left so quickly that she didn't notice she had dropped the baby over the edge of the balcony. Does the baby look scared? Would you be scared if you were dropped off a balcony? Down, down, down went the baby into the farmer's cart. Up, up, up flew the piglet into the princess's cradle. Can you make a prediction of what you think is going to happen next? When the queen returned and found the piglet lying where the baby should have been, she let out even louder shrieks and fainted into the nanny's arms. The king thought he knew what had happened. A bad fairy has done this, he explained. The fairy wasn't invited to the princess's christening, so she turned the baby into a piglet to get her revenge. It's the sort of thing that happens all the time in books. What book does he have there? It says right here, Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty.
Do you know the story of Sleeping Beauty?
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the farmer had returned home and was surprised to discover a baby girl lying where the piglet should have been. The farmer's wife thought she knew what had happened. A good fairy has done this, she explained. The fairy knew how poor and honest we are and how badly we wanted a child, so she turned the piglet into a baby. It's the sort of thing that happens all the time in books. That would be kind of fun to get a baby all of a sudden. Would you like that?
I'm the baby of my family.
You're the baby? And so, without a second thought, the baby became Pigmella, the farmer's daughter. And the piglet became Priscilla, the royal princess. Which baby looks happier? Yes, Pigmella looks happier. It wasn't long before Pigmella was able to eat, walk, and get dressed all by herself. And the farmer and his wife soon forgot that she had ever been a pig. Things were not so easy for Priscilla. Look here at Priscilla, what's happening. Do you see what she's doing? And then look what she's doing here. But the king and queen never let anyone forget that she was really a princess. As Pigmella grew older, she grew smarter and beautiful and was admired by everyone she met. As Priscilla grew older, she grew not so smart, not so beautiful, and was avoided by everyone she met. See these people? They're avoiding her.
Think about what... me.
Well, look at what they're doing. They're avoiding her. What are they doing? Are they hanging around and enjoying her company? What are they doing?
I think they're talking about her.
They're talking about her and trying to get away from her?
Mm-hmm.
They're avoiding her. Then one day the farmer's wife overheard some of the castle servants talking about the princess who had turned into a pig. It's just like what happened to Pigmella, she told her husband, only the other way around. The farmer soon guessed what happened. The princess and the pig must have been swapped somehow, he explained. It's the sort of thing that happens all the time in books. The poor farmer and his wife were very unhappy. They loved Pigmella, but they knew they should return her to her rightful home. How do you think they feel about having to take her back? Pigmella was also unhappy. She loved the farmer and his wife and did not want to live with anyone else. But, this is important, they were an honest family. So the next day, they went to the castle to see the king and queen. Would you have gone to see the king and queen? The king and queen listened to the farmer's story, but they didn't believe it. What nonsense, cried the queen. Ridiculous, the king laughed. This girl may be smart and beautiful, but she does not speak or look like a real princess. Look what they're doing, looking at it. Which one looks like a real princess? Think about what she is wearing and how she acts. And think about what she's wearing and how she acts. The queen thought she knew what was happening. It's a trick, she declared. This girl is just a farmer's daughter pretending to be a princess so that she can marry a prince. It's the sort of thing that what? Happens all the time in
books.
In books, that's right. And so Pigmella returned home with the farmer and his wife, where she married a young shepherd and lived happily ever after, and never once wished that she had been a princess. And Priscilla also got married to a handsome prince, although he had to be talked into it. But is that her prince? Priscilla was changed into a pig by a bad fairy, the king explained. But once you kiss her, the spell will be broken, and she will turn back into a beautiful princess, added the queen. It's the sort of thing that happens all the time.
In books.
In books, they assured him.
But no,
But
it's just a pig.
Unfortunately for the prince, it's not the sort of thing that happened in this particular book. I hope you enjoyed The Princess and the Pig. You can check it out in the library and read it yourself. It's a great book, and I think it had a great surprise ending. Thank you for listening.